DC Rivals Hypercoaster, the fastest roller coaster in Australia, the biggest roller coaster at Movie World, and you can do it backwards.
I want my mummy.
I asked over 270 people what is the best roller coaster in Australia, and 68% of them said it is DC Rivals here at Movie World. Welcome to episode 1 of Coaster Odyssey.
There are 197 countries on planet Earth. 130 of them are currently home to a roller coaster. Some of them are big, some not so much. But I'm going to ride them all.
What?
This is the story of one enthusiast's insane mission to ride the best roller coaster in every single country. One man, 130 countries, 130 coasters. This is Coaster Odyssey. Welcome to the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. The first step in a journey that will take me around the world to at least 130 different countries. It's January 2024, and in a matter of weeks, I'll be leaving my home country behind for the first time in my life in pursuit of an absolutely daunting goal. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous about what lies ahead. But every journey begins with a small step. And before I leave my home shores, we have some business to attend to. Welcome to episode 1 of Coaster Odyssey. I'm going to ride a roller coaster in every country in the world.
This is the first stop on a journey that's going to take me around the world on over 130 roller coasters. This is the DC Rivals Hypercoaster here at Movie World, currently the tallest, fastest and longest roller coaster in Australia, and of course voted by my viewers as the best. Let's get a ride on this one, and of course we have to remember that there are also backwards seats on this insane ride. Let's get our first ride of the day.
My journey today takes me to Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast in the southeast of the state of Queensland in Australia. It opened in 1991 adjacent to the film studios here in the suburb of Oxenford, which have actually been the filming location for many blockbuster films that we all know and love, including films from the Marvel and DC cinematic universes, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mission Impossible, the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and so many more. The story all began in the late 1980s when Australian production and entertainment company Village Roadshow bought out the failed movie studios here in Oxenford and entered a joint venture with the operators of SeaWorld to build a new theme park on the land. With a layout inspired by Universal Studios Hollywood and Disney's Hollywood Studios, the park took 16 months to construct at an estimated cost of 140 million Australian dollars. Originally, Movie World was a pretty simple studio park, with attractions like a studio tour and a special effects show designed to educate guests about filmmaking processes. But through the 1990s, theme park rides also began to make appearances, such as a dark flume ride themed to Looney Tunes, and a motion simulator ride themed to the Tim Burton Batman films. The park's first coaster was constructed in 1995, a Vekoma SLC themed to the Lethal Weapon movies. And from there, the park has not looked back, establishing itself as a destination not only for theming and immersion in the worlds of all your favourite films, but one of Australia's leading parks for rides and roller coasters as well. And their biggest and best attraction is DC Rivals Hypercoaster.
Alright, you're going in the property boxes. Here we go. All right, chapter 1 of Coaster Odyssey done and dusted. We've just been on the ride. I'm here with my friend Heidi. Heidi, how was it?
Good. Probably my best cycle. As Jake said to me when he wrote it on the other day, it's developed a little bit of a rattle, which, considering it's been a couple months since I've ridden it, yeah, it has, especially in the back. But it's nothing major.
Yeah.
Still a great ride.
Oh, the airtime over that first drop is ridiculous. It's absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
And I didn't get stapled, unlike him, so...
Yeah, I did get stapled, but that's okay. It was still a really good run. Hopefully it'll warm up through the day. It is a little bit rainy, so maybe it'll still be running pretty cold, but we're definitely going to get some more laps, and we're going to try it out backwards, so you can get a full review of that experience as well.
DC Rivals Hypercoaster opened at Movie World in 2017. At a cost of 30 million Australian dollars, it was Movie World's and Village Roadshow's biggest ever investment into a single attraction. By this time, Movie World was already renowned as having Australia's best roller coasters, with their famous Intamin Accelerator, Superman Escape, and the famous Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster, themed to the live-action Scooby-Doo films that were actually shot right nearby. But DC Rivals would take it one step further and cement Movie World's place on the global map. It's a Mark Rides hypercoaster, the first full-circuit hypercoaster in the Southern Hemisphere, standing 202 feet tall, with a daunting vertical drop, a non-inverting loop, and a killer top speed of 115 kilometers an hour.
So we're going to wait for the rain to pass by going to Rick's, which I'm pretty sure it's only been reopened very recently, the Casablanca themed restaurant, and it's absolutely great. Okay, we've ridden it forwards a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's time to do DC Rivals backwards. What are your thoughts?
I think Maloney's here knows me as a bit of a staunch defender of Leviathan being the best coaster in Australia. Never done backwards before. To be fair, I've never done it backwards on Leviathan either. That'll be tomorrow. But yeah, I guess we'll see what backwards DC Rivals is like, and if that perhaps changes my opinion on whether or not this is...
This is the biggest thing about Australia's episode is I don't think we're going to have another episode of this series where you can ride the coaster backwards. So this is going to be insane. Let's see what we think of it. Okay. DC Rivals backwards. Heidi, what is your review after your first ever ride on DC backwards?
I want my mummy. What on earth? Words not YouTube friendly. Boom. Yeah, that was an experience.
Truer words
Sadly,
have never been
threw
spoken.
up a bit. On the brake run, yeah, good on me. Love having motion sickness as a coaster enthusiast.
We love that. But you did it.
I did it, and
There it goes again. What a coaster.
Why? I mean, yes, good, but why? Like,
It's so
like
good.
Who did that? Who? What? Yeah, okay. I can concede that might be the
There
best
is
coaster
no experience like that in
Backwards
Australia.
is
It is so good. Absolutely nuts.
Backwards airtime?
Oh,
Coolest
such
concept,
a
greatest thing
unique
ever.
experience.
Yeah. Love
That's made our day. We're gonna go and get on some more rides, and we'll get back to you.
Obviously, being Australian, this is not my first time riding DC Rivals, but every time I come back to the Gold Coast, there is always one thing that I'm never quite prepared for, and that's the insanity of this first drop. To call it sustained ejector airtime is an understatement. The ejector combined with that twist halfway down just makes it one of the craziest drops you'll ever experience. The rest of the layout is stacked with power, ejector airtime moments, laterals, positives. It's an absolute machine, and definitely the best layout in terms of forces that we have anywhere in Australia. During my rides on this visit, it also seemed to be running faster than ever. There were amazing positive forces through the helix, which is usually one of the weakest points on the ride. It was as if the coaster gods were blessing me with some of my best laps ever as a going away gift before I say goodbye to Australian shores.
Well, it's been a fantastic day here at Movie World, but the weather has taken a bit of a turn, so it is likely that we're going to head and call it an early day. But what a fantastic way to get this journey around the world started. DC Rivals Hypercoaster here at Warner Brothers Movie World. Make sure you check it out. What a coaster that is. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know where you think I should head in the world next. And in the meantime, vote in all the polls on the channel. I'll see you in the next video.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coaster Odyssey, and I hope you'll join me for episode 2. Up next, I'll be heading somewhere over the rainbow to ride a golden coaster that I'm in a real rush to experience for the first time. Join me on February 24th for the next episode. In the meantime, please consider liking and subscribing, scan the QR code to help support the channel, and I'll see you next time.